Hey, it's the RIOT on RadioU. Hi, y'all.
Hello, it's our
podcast.
It's our Friday podcast, but again, whenever you listen to it, just know that for us, it's Friday.
All right, so here's where we are. Today, you know what? I really
How was the show today?
Okay. You know what? I hope it's in the show. You guys can hear it. Like, I'm having a hard time, and I know it comes out at the corners. I try really hard to
You got to take the edge off.
I try really hard not to let it get into the show, but gosh, I know it did today. I know, and I'm sorry. So today in the podcast, the one thing I really wish that I had thought of when we were doing it that we didn't is we talk about getting free HBO.
HBO has started. HBO Go and HBO Now has free stuff starting today. Not all of it, but they're doing some free stuff.
And I just keep thinking about the idea of driving down a stretch of road and there's a hotel or a motel where like the lights aren't quite working on the sign, but one of the little things that says is AC free HBO.
So while at first you think, oh, this is great, we got some content to watch. They want everybody to stay at home and watch their content. In reality,
wherever you live now is just some real cheap hotel.
It's a motel.
Motel.
Minus the jacuzzi if you don't have one.
I love it. So let's see. Other things in here. You know what? Right off the bat, let's see how I'm doing with my time at the park yesterday.
Oh, yay. I'm proud of you, though.
It goes downhill from there.
No, it doesn't, because you weren't in a hilly area.
I didn't say anything.
You did a great job.
I just want to remind you
it
that
worked out.
Even when you hear what happened, I didn't say anything.
Out loud.
And so this could have ended very differently, okay? We talk about The Last of Us 2, Top Gun Maverick, Rescue Ducks, not a new movie or TV show, even though it could be. Let's see. Nikki is definitely buying a Switch Lite. A virtual tournament that's happening this weekend. Quarantine cake gets discussed. Things like that.
I didn't talk about it in the show, but I was watching a thing yesterday about quarantine bangs being a thing. Like everybody's cutting
doing a crappy job on their hair.
They're basically cutting their hair at home. So there's a lot of quarantine things that are making news.
Yeah, I need to trim my sideburns. That when I get to that place where they get a little shaggy, and I'm like, well. Best of luck. We'll see how this goes.
Well, I don't know what to do. The stay at home in our area is until the last day of this month.
Yeah.
And my hair appointment is 2 days later.
You're not having it.
But like mine, I get my hair colored blonde, and it's a process. So I can't do that at home. And it's not like I just want to trim my hair. I don't usually cut my hair too often. But I'm starting to get worried that
Nikki,
it's not going to happen.
How do you feel about a bob?
A bob? I don't care about my hair cut. I care about my hair color.
Yeah.
And that, again, we can't do.
You're going au natural, Nikki. You're going back.
Going back.
Going back.
I don't want to be a brunette anymore. I don't like my normal hair color.
I do. It is funny. I saw it in my memories feed the other day. I saw a picture of us with your dark hair, and I was just like,
oh, yeah.
That's what Nikki looked like the majority of the time I've known her.
I know.
And yet in my mind, when I look at it, I'm like, that's not Nikki. So who took her place?
This quarantine stuff's got to wrap up soon, okay? Or we're going to come in with bangs and brown hair.
Hey, brown hair's not all bad.
No, I know, depending on what you're wanting.
I have it. I can
well,
take
make sure you text us this weekend if you're home.
Yep.
Looking for something to do. You can text us at 877-2-RADIO-U. Let us know if you're a podcast listener and tell us where you're texting from and your name.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on RadioU.
Now, I'm sure that there are times in life where what I'm about to tell you would be wrong. I'm sure that there are. But I think in most cases, if you had to not say something or you had to apologize for saying something later, I think not saying something, I think you're better off.
Okay.
I went for a run in the park yesterday, and it was it's the one down the street here where it's a big circle.
Sure.
So it's like a 1.2 mile track, essentially, but it's, outside in the grass and the trees and whatever. And so you can go down there and it can know how far you're running. Like, it's easy to whatever. So I was down there running, and everybody's practicing social distancing.
Yeah.
But for some reason yesterday, I had a real attitude about it. Now,
you haven't had one yet, but
no. And I didn't show it. I didn't say anything to anybody. But I'm running along, and there's this couple, and like everyone else, up until I got to this couple, we had all kind of moved to the sides of the path. Like,
sure.
Keeping the distance.
No one's really been like rude about it or anything.
No. And there's this lady, and she just wouldn't get over.
Really?
She's like, what the heck? And I mean, like, the temptation, the desire to just be like, yeah, it was real.
Now, we follow the awful person sort of emotional outburst Reddit forum where we've seen a lot of people screaming about social distancing. So you almost went to that?
I almost did. And I was just like, you know what, dude, just don't. Like, just don't. All right? Like, don't be that guy. Like, just get a hold of yourself, whatever.
Did you scoot over more to kind of like show her? Or?
Yeah, I did. And boy, did I really show her.
Was it obvious or?
Well, Nikki, you know how it's a circle?
Yeah.
So like how I met up with them again?
Yeah. Oh, no. What happened then?
Well, she busted out her cane.
What's that mean? No to measure?
Yeah. No.
To hit you?
No. She was either visually impaired or blind.
Oh, no.
So she couldn't see me.
So mean. I'm so
I know.
glad you didn't say anything.
Me too. Oh, my
God.
You don't even know.
I'm so glad you did
don't
not.
even know.
Oh, that would have been
I was
so
just
bad.
like, you almost yelled at the person that couldn't see you for not moving over. You jerk.
We have learned a valuable lesson here, haven't we?
Well, I mean, arguably, I already had learned that lesson because I didn't say anything.
Sure.
All of this, everything that we just talked about, it only took place inside.
Yeah. This was all an inside conversation.
It never got outside. And it was just one of those moments where I was like,
oh, boy.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
That was quiet.
Oh, I didn't say anything. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, let me tell you, I didn't expect that to be the ending of the story. I did not expect that.
Me either. I know. I almost called you. I was like, Nikki, you're not going to believe this. Oh, my gosh.
But I was quiet. I didn't say anything.
I actually didn't say anything, but I almost did.
I'm so glad I didn't.
I'm the worst person in the world.
Wow, look at that. That worked out.
So this story could have ended very differently.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it didn't.
Yay!
Made it.
Woo!
Maybe I shouldn't go to the park today. Maybe it's like I got out. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should just say
be thankful for that.
Good job.
Yeah.
And get out.
Maybe the circle part is just not good. You seeing people.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I need to, I don't know, find some farm property where no one's working and run there. So to keep me away from people.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
I just have one question for you, Nikki.
Yeah.
Do you love your country?
I do.
How much do you love your country, Nikki?
I love it a lot, sir.
You ready to show me how much you love your country, maggot?
Well, what do I have to do, though? Please don't say I have to pay any money or any more money.
When you get your stimulus check,
yeah, I'm supposed to go shopping?
You need to spend it.
That's what they say.
That is an economic stimulus check. Do not, I repeat, do not put it in the bank.
Can't I put a little in the bank? Or
no.
No, I got to spend it all?
You have to stimulate your economy, dang it. That's what the National Review says. I don't even know what the National Review is.
I kind of know, you're supposed to. Well, it's still there to help people who lost their jobs and who need to pay bills. Not if I need to watch a new movie or a new purse or something.
The other suggestion is that if you don't need it and you know someone who does, to give it to them.
Now that I've heard, and that would be a very, very good thing to do. I'm going to keep my eyes open.
Then they can they'll put the money into the economy. And then
by shopping or paying bills?
Well, hopefully by paying bills. Like, remember, I said somebody who needs it, not somebody who needs
Not everybody understands the difference between someone who actually needs it.
Oh, yeah, I know. The temptation to stimulate the economy is real.
Well, I think if you take an amount that works for you out and then you save the rest, that way you're kind of doing the best of both.
You know what? That's great, Nikki. I'm going to take an amount that works for me, and then I'm going to save the rest.
And then you're going to save the rest.
Sure.
I'm not going to ask you your amount. That's a private conversation between you and your money.
I know what they're saying. I remember the last time they did a stimulus check, they were like, you got to get out there and do your patriotic duty. Do you know what I did with my last stimulus check?
What'd you do?
It was during the Obama administration. I just turned around and wrote it back to the Treasury because I had a tax bill that needed paid.
That is also a choice.
So I was just like, hey, guys, thanks for paying yourself, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
Well, once we're closer to getting them, should we have people text in what we're going to do?
No.
Because I really want to save it, but then I've also want to get a yellow or a gray Switch. The Switch Lite.
It's already done.
But then I want to sell my other one, but then now no one can buy things right now because you're not allowed to be out and about to like sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
It's already done.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm like, I really would like a yellow or a gray one.
And I'm going to tell you how I know this. We're under a stay-at-home order until like the 1st of March, which they flat out said when they issued it could go longer.
Sure.
There's a state in the South. I can't remember which one it is. They've already said they've got a stay-at-home order until the middle of June.
We're just going to stay at home forever. And we're aware of this. It's fine.
So guess what?
I got a lot of time to stay at home.
You're getting a new Switch.
And then Obi was telling a few days ago that in June or July, Nintendo's supposed to come out for Mario's anniversary and, release on the Switch some Mario games that haven't been there before.
Now, remember, the rumor is they'll announce it in June.
Oh, no, it's not till fall.
Okay, but that's not what you just said.
Yeah.
Was that they're going to come out in June.
Maybe, Nintendo will come out and talk about it.
I am just trying to help the little Nikki that lives inside.
No, but maybe it'll be a Mario miracle, and then they'll go ahead and be like, and it's out today.
Maybe they will.
Maybe it will.
But see what just happened?
Do you see how better you feel already just talking about it for a brief moment?
The little Nikki that lives inside is getting herself ready for some big Nikki level disappointment.
And I want to play Mario Galaxy if they put it on the Switch on a gray or a yellow or a teal one.
There it is.
So we'll see, but that's the only thing I could think of.
It's going to be great.
If not, we are supposed to save too. That's a not as popular opinion, but saving your money is not a bad thing.
You never know. So, yeah, they say it is, though. Remember, America.
I got to go out there and get that.
Do what the people on the internet told you to.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
Do you ever find yourself wishing you could just get HBO? Mom, why can't we have HBO? Everybody has it.
I don't know if that's currently what's going on because I don't feel like they really have the hit show currently. Well, but this is still something they're doing.
But they got some hit show ish, right?
Did you see the list of the movies though? They're like, oh no.
So here's what they're doing. HBO is releasing 500 hours, they say, of movie and TV programming that you can watch for free.
It kind of seems like it really revolves around some of their older shows.
Right. Well, these were the shows that are also on, wait for it, Amazon Prime.
Oh, they're also there.
They have a deal with Amazon Prime that they put all their old stuff on there. So, but there's one they're throwing out for the kids. The Detective Pikachu is going to be on there, too.
That's like the strongest movie that they put on this list. I mean, we don't want to not be thankful for all the free programming that we're getting because they do want to encourage people to stay at home. So they're making some programming available, what they call outside of the paywall.
The Lego Movie 2. Happy Feet 2. Man, I hated Happy Feet. That is the worst.
Okay, well, there's maybe other things.
Well, here's what's weird to me. Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2. People are like,
is that the penguin thing?
I don't want to be preached at. That was one long sermon about like environmental whatever and how penguins could teach us all to be happy. And I was like, what the heck?
And you got two of them.
Can't you just
Can't you just dance?
Are you kidding me?
All right, well, that is not what you're looking for.
Not what I'm looking for, Nikki. So we don't know when, but they're going to make it free for now and then probably throw a switch and make you pay.
Yeah, they haven't said how long this will actually go for, but they've got about 20 or so movies, documentaries, docuseries, and some of their shows, their older ones.
Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase. That's a good movie.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
It actually is. I've seen it.
Why are you watching all these things?
What am I doing, right? Anything else? I don't even know what this stuff is. But The Sopranos.
That's there.
You got that. And then what was the other, The Wire.
The Wire?
That's what, I've never watched it, but everybody's like, The Wire. If you haven't watched The Wire, you don't even know what TV.
Well, now you can watch it if you want.
No, I'm good. People like it, so I'll stay away.
So that is something HBO's doing. They encourage the use of maybe a hashtag or two while you're enjoying the programming, because, that is a networking thing for them.
Maybe this is their way to soft launch. What's their HBO Max? Because they'll be like, the things you've been loving with HBO Go are now available on HBO Max.
But these are different. HBO Max will not have the stuff that HBO Go has.
I know.
But they're using the hashtag Stay Home Box Office. And then that starts today through HBO Go or HBO Now. And they really need to merge all that together because it's confusing.
HBO is like, this is going to be a whole new thing.
And they said
people are going to stay home and watch movies again.
They are very adamant about saying you do not need an account to be able to access this stuff.
Now that's interesting.
Because some of the places are like, yeah, you get so many whatevers for free, but we have your account information. You get charged. They're saying that you should not have that. You can watch if you want to watch.
I signed up for Stars last night.
Did you?
They did. They had this thing where it was 6 months for $20 or something. So I was like, yeah, I actually want it. And I watched a movie.
Did you?
I did.
All right.
Look at me.
Doing good.
Yep. It's happening. It's all there.
Got all this content, guys.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
I don't know about you guys, but I've got to get back to the gym, right?
Yeah, but you can't, so...
You can't.
I mean, it's not you at this point. You would if you could.
Right, which gives me a great excuse to be like, hey, you know what? It's not my fault that this is... I would be there.
I've seen so many people doing CrossFit outside their house.
Really?
This is what I've been noticing around me.
Oh, that's interesting.
And every time I see it, oh my gosh, we should so all go and do that together. And then I remember we're not supposed to.
Not
and
together.
We're not allowed.
No.
But it's been fun to see people do that. And a lot of people have been running.
Well, Nikki, the New York Sports Club has caused quite a fuss now that we've crossed over to the first of the month because they're a gym. How's this even possible? They have over 600,000 members.
That seems huge.
And
how big is this place?
Doesn't it feel like it has to have multiple locations or something?
It must. I mean, I have heard of the New York Sports Club.
I have not. Well, the New York Sports Club just charged all 600,000 of its members their membership fees.
Oh, no. No one's been going to the gym.
People are pretty unhappy about
it. Oh, that was something you shouldn't have been doing.
Pretty unhappy.
So they took out the fees for the month, even though the gyms have been closed since March 15th, and then there's no obvious dates for reopening. And I don't know about for this place, but for a lot of gyms, they take it out of your bank account. Right. They don't take it off of a credit card.
Right. So
it's not as easy to get it back.
It's not.
And I think that's why they do that.
That's actually one of the reasons why, if you can, you never let people automatically debit. And I did that for my gym too. I did it.
That's the only place.
Yeah, you don't want to let people access to your actual bank account. Make them use a credit card or something, and then you have a recourse if you need to. And
they've been mad because they've said that a lot of people have complained that it's virtually impossible for its customers to cancel their membership. And they still, though, charged members.
Well, yeah, Nick, you got to come in and meet with a specialist and have a letter.
But you're not allowed to go in at this time.
Well, that's
places.
your fault.
Well, yeah, I mean, even for ours, how could you cancel ours?
That's on you. That's not them. I mean, at no point in the contract did it say that they have to be open for you to come in. It's just that you have to come in.
Looks like a class action lawsuit
Sure.
has been filed against them, alleging that they shouldn't be charging people when the gym's closed. They said that's obvious. And on the first,
I mean, a little obvious. Let's not go using big words.
and they say that on the first of the month, they charge their customers what likely amounts to tens of millions of dollars in improper charges. And they say they have no intention of changing that in the future months.
Nikki, they still got to pay the rent.
Well, it's not a gift, guys. If you're not going to the gym, you don't get to take the money.
I disagree. The gym is a gift. It's a real gift for all of us.
I had one place I signed up for the day before the stay at home, like for a lot of the closures.
Yeah.
And it was about $80 that was supposed to be.
What did you sign up for?
Well, that's not important, but
it
the starting off thing and then like the first month of it. But they were like, well, we'll just save credits. So they didn't give me the money back.
Right.
But it's there for when things start back up. And I thought, I could fight this. But they were a smaller business. And I was like, fine.
You going to a new gym?
I'm not going to a new gym. It's not a gym.
What was it?
You don't have to worry about
is it a
that.
smoothie club?
Oh, my gosh. It's not a smoothie club.
That sounds like something you'd sign up
It's
for.
not a smoothie club.
What?
But, they don't give you a lot of options to be able to fight it because they're not open.
Yeah. Okay. Is it spin class?
It's not a spin class.
Orange Theory?
It's not Orange Theory, which sounds like a smoothie club.
I know. I know.
It does.
So, Cycle Bar?
I'm not going to Cycle Bar. You can't go to any of those places.
Just a bar?
Just a bar? No.
Just a cycle?
Smoothie bar.
All right. Well, just a heads up. They're ripping somebody off somewhere, and we're talking about it.
Well,
it's the hard-hitting news you need.
It reminds you, though, to take a look at your bank account during this time.
It does.
And keep track of things, because if you have anything that's usually taken out each month and you can't utilize it, you got to keep track of it.
You should cancel it.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Now, like many of you, of course, Nikki and I are self-isolating as much as possible to prevent the spread of whatever. But there are some people that are self-isolating with family. Mm-hmm. Some are self-isolating with some friends. We're just like, we're starting this together. Ride. What is it? It's about family. It's like a Fast and Furious movie, but it's at your house. And then there's another woman here in Florida who is self-isolating with her rescue ducks.
Oh, that's cute.
What's a rescue duck?
A
Do you know?
duck that's been rescued. Like if it's been injured.
So it's not a duck that does rescuing.
No, it's not.
Like Chippendale's Rescue Ducks.
No. It's not. But they were saying how, like, if you are going into isolation and stuff, you could, foster pets during that time because, shelters are having a very difficult time. So you can foster and kind of babysit different animals from different places. Maybe the rescue ducks are from that.
Rescue ducks, guys.
Yeah, ducks need help too. They need help. They do.
I can't.
Just because you can't.
You know
You've
what?
never had ducks before.
I can handle real talk. Like I can handle rescue cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Bunnies.
Of course, bunnies. Maybe.
So really, cats and dogs, and then after that, it falls off.
Oh, it is the sharpest, steepest decline you have ever seen. I'm talking Everest to the Marianas.
Right
all
on
the way down.
Yeah, but these animals at shelters, even if it's not a cat or dog, staff members can't go in. So they were encouraging, to come in and help and then take care of them during the time you're at home.
Yeah. So, here's somebody made a wheelchair for this duck.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's why it needed rescued. It's injured.
I'm just going to tell you, and I am not even being funny or whatever, but when I see a duck that needs a wheelchair.
Don't say anything. No, you do not.
No. Yeah, it's just time.
What if it just needs healed? What if if you break your leg, is that it for you, or do you need a time to heal with your leg?
That's different. I'm a human.
And that's still alive. It could have just a time of fixing a wing or something. Or a little thing.
That's why
You're a mean man.
There's a book by this guy named Reuben Welch called We Really Do Need Each Other. That's what it's about. And that's why humanity, we need all kinds. And we need apparently rescue duck people.
And then the mean ones?
If it weren't for them, it would just be stacks of dead ducks everywhere. And you know what? That's probably good. I'm glad you're out there.
Yeah.
Isolating yourself with your rescue ducks.
Well, it's also nice to have some companionship while you're at home if you don't have anybody else around.
You're right.
Got ducks to take. Come on, right. You just don't understand. It's fine.
You know what?
He just doesn't get it.
You're right. But you know what? Yes, come on. Rescue ducks.
Do you think because you have allergies so bad to cats and dogs, would you be allergic to a duck?
Oh, you know what? I feel like I could probably do okay with birds.
Is it the same dander?
I'll bet it's not. And they got those feathers. Or what if they're just a big dandery mess? It's like you have a chicken inside for a day and the inside of your house turns white from dander.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
This is the part of the show that we do every day where we tell you about the movie that was coming out that's not coming out now.
Well, there's a lot on this list. There's quite a few.
So yesterday, they announced that Top Gun Maverick is now delayed until December.
Was that supposed to be out in July?
I believe it was July. Well, that'd be a good time for it because America.
Well, I think December works as well, though. That's a smart choice. Christmas.
Doesn't feel like a Christmas movie.
Oh, I think people are usually a lot more willing to go to the movies, though.
Now, that is true.
During the month of December.
That is true. So that's a thing. The other thing I see here is that A Quiet Place 2, they've just announced that that's going to be a Labor Day weekend movie.
So that'll be in September.
Yeah. So that's a thing. I liked A Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think Maverick looks really good. There's something about it that I'm not interested in, and yet I think it's going to be one of the most interesting looking movies we've seen in a long time.
Like from the stunts and the flying and things.
It really does look interesting. So here's my question: Labor Day, are we back to normal?
Do you think things will be back to normal by then?
Are we?
Well, does that make you feel better that movie studio feels like things would be back to normal enough by then, like for movie theaters? Because at this point, what is a movie theater? We're not even having that. So.
I'm not ready for that existential discussion. What is a movie theater?
But you get what I mean. It's not just a case of will we be ready to go to the movies by then? It's will there be movie theaters to go to by then?
That's a really good question.
And I think by September, we hope that it'll open up earlier than that.
Yeah.
So for them to pick that date instead of just waiting until next year to release it.
Mm-hmm. Come on. So one thing they keep saying about A Quiet Place A Quiet Place 2 is that it's a movie that we have to watch together.
Oh, that it really needs a theater experience?
It needs to be watched with a bunch of people. So I can't see where that would be good.
Well, we can't. Never mind. I still can't. It's like we can for $20, but we're not supposed to get together and watch movies that way.
We're not, Nikki. I watched A Quiet Place by myself in my basement.
Well, how'd you feel?
Nervous, apprehensive.
But when you were watching it, were you saying to yourself, boy, I wish I was with people in a theater?
I actually thought this would have been a lot more unique in a theater because they use quiet so purposefully in the film that for there to be quiet like that, I actually thought this would have been way more effective in a room full of people because getting a room of people quiet would be even more tense.
It would have been more suspenseful because when you're at home, sometimes you're already more comfortable. You're not as suspense, you're not as scared.
Yeah.
You will be at night when you're trying to sleep, but not during the day when you're watching the movie.
Well, at night when you're sleeping, as long as you're quiet, you don't have anything to fear.
Oh, that's worse. Just please make noise.
But if you make noise, they might come and get you.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So A Quiet Place 2 will be in September on Labor Day weekend, and then Top Gun Maverick will be now at Christmas time.
Christmas time. Mm-hmm. Good times.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, Chris Cuomo, the brother of
Andrew
Cuomo, the governor of New York, he works for CNN, and he has COVID-19. So he says that in the last 3 days, he's lost 13 pounds.
He was saying his teeth chattered so much that it chipped a tooth for him.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said that he chipped a tooth with it because they just were,
So what, now we got to get a mouth guard to have corona?
No, I mean, it seems like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but every time I look around, everybody seems to be getting it differently.
Yeah.
Like some people are just fine. Some people have no things. Other people are having a terrible time with it, like if they get it. And then others, you hear there's such a variety of stories of how people are fighting it.
Well,
but for him, it seemed like it was bad.
He says that he'll have hours at a time where he seems like he's fine. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the fever starts to come back. And his fever, he said his temperature in this video here that it had gone up several degrees in 30 minutes.
And that he was having hallucinations.
That one right there is where I'm like, all right.
Don't
okay.
want that.
The last thing I need is my brain to start creating content that it can't tell isn't real.
Well, that's from the fever.
My existential nightmare can be bad enough without me not being able to trust my senses.
Sure. But like he was home during all that, so he wasn't in the hospital for it.
That's crazy. And that's actually what he says. He's like, yeah, a lot of people are like, hey, you're okay. Mm-hmm. And he has an excellent point here. He's like, yeah, technically you're okay. You're making it. You're going to die. You're going to survive this thing. He's like, but it's still a horrible experience. I had some friends that had a car wreck, and I thought it's this interesting thing where they were in terrible shape after that car wreck, but everyone referred to them as okay.
Because they survived.
They survived.
Yeah.
And so it really is funny, that term okay, because if you've ever said like, yeah, I'm okay, AKA I'm not going to die. But I mean, like, they had to have surgery. They had to take all this time. Like they had a really hard time coming back from that car accident, but they were okay. So, oof.
Well, when he started talking and I was reading one of the articles yesterday, I actually said to myself, I go, listen, you already know the basics of it and yourself, like you're just making sure you're staying at home. I don't want to read any more about it. Like, I don't want to hear these symptoms.
You're done.
I don't want to hear that because it just makes you really afraid when you maybe will get it, maybe not. So, like, you have to be informed. But it was a real big difference of being informed and then being scared to death of it.
Is it bad that I'm not afraid? I'm just like, whatever.
Well, that also. I mean, we all cope in different ways, I guess. I'm sitting here like, that's it. I can't hear any more about it. But it was when he was saying last night, he lost 13 pounds in those couple of days.
I need to lose 13 pounds. But I also don't want to have conversations with dead people, which is what he says he's been doing. So, I mean...
You've gained a lot during this time.
Can we find a balance?
13 pounds.
Can we find a balance?
No one wants it, though. We do not want it.
All right. You know what? No more symptom talk with Chris Cuomo. It's been fascinating to watch.
I don't want to hear it anymore. Not from you but from just the news. I just got to take a break of it.
I should talk to Eric. We need to lock up all the knives in your house. Remember the last time you had a fever?
That was from the medicine. I thought someone broke in the house, and I literally, in my mind, was sure someone was in the house.
So Nikki's walking around with a big old knife.
Well, remember, I was like, hello? Someone in the house. I forget how old I was. I do remember I had hallucinations one time when I had such a high fever, and I was in the lollipop land.
Well,
like
that
the
sounds
kingdom.
nice.
And it sounded great, but boy, I was losing it. So I don't want any of that.
Well, if you can guarantee me a nice hallucination, then all right.
No, I don't think. I don't think we want any of it. We just want everybody to be well. Don't want to hear it.
Well, yeah.
Don't want that. I don't mind the 13 pounds down thing. I mean,
that sounds pretty good.
But I don't want it to be done in that way.
See, I mean, there's an upside.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
You know what, guys? I'm watching it happen.
No, it's because it's Friday, too, and it's the end of the week, and I've been worn down by this thing.
It's happening. Like, I've watched it. Nikki, I've been your friend long enough to know.
I know. You know the signs. It's not a bad thing. It's how we sometimes hold each other accountable, and other times we encourage.
I'm not mad at you. Look, here's what we have. Nikki and I are looking at we're looking at the Nintendo Switch Lite.
Mind you, I already own a Switch.
Okay, but in all fairness, you share that Switch.
I do, and I think I'd rather have my own for health reasons. No, just
yeah, that's right.
But
Aaron keeps touching it, and I've had it.
No, I don't know. I just this is just what I've just been going back and forth with.
So you're thinking Switch Lite, which you're totally getting.
Do I want a yellow or a gray one though, or a turquoise? When you guys hear me, what do you think? What color do you think I sound?
Okay, text it 8772 RadioU. And is salmon? Is that just right out?
No, I don't like the coral.
Coral. Okay, that's see, I don't get colors right.
It's not a salmon. It's a coral.
Yellow, light gray, or turquoise.
Now, like my whole house, my whole color aesthetic at home is gray, but I think I might like
a splash of color.
A little pop of color. Yeah. Do I want the teal one or the yellow?
It's turquoise.
Turquoise.
And I actually am going to go with turquoise.
You think so? That's your vote?
Then again, you love yellow. And here's
it's a sunny color.
Can I tell you guys something? Nikki's dad hates yellow. And Nikki loves it. So
just a weird thing to say, but true.
Am I wrong?
No, I painted my kitchen.
How many times have you wanted to paint something yellow and your dad's like, eh?
No, I painted my kitchen yellow once and I could just tell when he saw it. It was just like, it's not your thing. It's fine. I wanted it.
So, Nikki, do you want to get that gray that your dad would support for resale value?
But I also just like gray. I do like that color, too.
Well, okay. That's
so gray,
not wrong.
yellow, or turquoise?
What do you want?
I don't know. That's why I think, what do people think?
Let's
I think I'd be fine with any of them.
Oh, I got some answers here for you. Shannon says turquoise first, yellow second. Stacy says turquoise, and then you can get matching Crocs to wear while you play. The ultimate luxury experience.
That's my quarantine outfit right there.
All right, Jeremy says gray. JC says turquoise.
All right. Well, I'm just going to think about it today.
Okay.
And, I can't go to the store, so it's not like
Yes, you can.
I can go in? Is Best Buy open?
No, but you can do their curbside pickup.
No, I meant to go look at the colors in person.
No. You're going to have to stare. You know what? Eric has a color-corrected monitor at home, right?
Oh, I can look at that?
Go.
I have a Pantone book. If someone just tells me the Pantone, I can look at it.
Get the Pantone colors. You can lay them out, and you can think about it, and then...
Christy, I like her text. Christy is very supportive. Yellow is very complimentary to gray, very trendy.
See, there you go. You could be there in your kitchen with your gray kitchen and your yellow Switch Lite.
And my yellow will really pop then, won't it?
Yeah. Something to think about. So
I'm just deciding, Carrie just texted, missed the beginning. Are we discussing Croc colors?
Yes, that's
we're not.
That's exactly what we're discussing.
If I got a Switch Lite, what color would I get? Because the stimulus check is coming soon, so this might be the one thing I get, and then I save the rest of it.
I got to trade my Trump bucks for a Switch.
I know. What do I want to get?
President Trump done bought me a Switch,
and I still have a full Switch, so I don't know if I would keep that for others or I'm not the only one who uses that one.
Look at me. I'm going to explain it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how it goes. You're buying a Switch Lite. Mm-hmm. You're keeping the other Switch.
And we're all okay with it.
And that's it.
That's not too excessive.
And can I tell you right now, it's fine.
I know, right?
It's fine.
But what color to get? So
now
I'll keep looking at them all morning.
Discussion. But you know what? Forget it. Trump bucks. Get a yellow and a gray.
No, that's too much. That's too much. Now, for Glasslands, I automatically looked at this and thought silent gray instead of prey.
It's meant to be.
I don't know if I'm still leaning towards the gray one or what color.
It's meant to be.
And, it's just fun to think about these things, isn't it? You're
It's fun.
Online, just thinking about it, shopping.
Oh, Rachel says, none of the above. Scour the internet for the Animal Crossing Switch.
Well, I don't mind the one without the controllers, but that one does look nice.
It's purty.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We have talked a lot about delays, but most of the delays that I feel like have been hitting as far as, there's wedding delays. There's funeral delays. Like, there's been delays, but most of them have just been movies.
Yeah, that's
TV shows pushed back.
Could just be where our new stuff is coming from, but that seems
Also
to be
true.
The bigger news out of that.
But here's one that I was interested in that I'm kind of surprised. But The Last of Us Part 2, the big PlayStation 4 exclusive game that was due to hit in, I believe it's in May, they have postponed that game, and I quote, indefinitely.
Whenever they use the word indefinitely, I'm always like, what does that mean? You're not canceling it, are you? Or
No, it basically just means that they're like, hey, we're not going to commit to a date.
So they just don't want to say that yet.
Right. I would guess that The Last of Us Part 2 will be a PlayStation 5 launch. So you'll be able to get it for the PlayStation 4 if you want it, or you'll get it for the PlayStation 5 and it'll have enhanced graphics.
The one worry they're saying is, The Last of Us, the second, was supposed to be out on the 29th of May, but they're saying that this could start the avalanche of now games being postponed. Oh. So they think that this might be the first of many that we'll start hearing of their postponement.
The one that I'm just kind of holding out for, like way out there, is Cyberpunk 2077. That's the one with Keanu Reeves. Yep.
We know that one. We know the Keanu one.
Listen, man, if Keanu's in it, I know it.
We have those details. I saw that thing when he came out.
So I'm just hoping that doesn't get delayed.
When was it supposed to come out?
In September.
I think you're okay well, no, we don't think anything, do we?
Watch your mouth, Nikki.
It might be or it might not.
I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
That being said, there is some fun to be had in just going back and playing stuff that you either already have and you haven't played, or, you just missed it. Like, because there's plenty of games out there that you were like, oh, I would play that, and then you never did. So
The Last of Us Part 2 and Marvel's Iron Man VR has been postponed too.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that one's pushed back as well.
That's fine.
Again, that's what they're saying could be the start of more games being pushed back.
Yeah. Well,
which I feel like games a lot of times are pushed back anyways, but this for this reason.
Last of Us Part 2 was supposed to be out in March, I think, and it got moved to May, and now they're like, well, it's a little bit longer.
Game and hardware launches might suffer the same fate as movies at this time.
I'm sure that's true. So, you know what? We'll just have to keep playing all the stuff we already have.
Just go through what you have, and that'll help fill the time up.
Yeah, this is a good time to sign up for, what is it, like PS Now or that Xbox Ultimate Pass. There's like hundreds of games on it. There's stuff out there. I know it's not as cool as something shiny and new. I totally get it. I suffer from that sickness, friend.
Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Don't laugh at me.
Yes!
I put part of my breakfast in my mouth. I was like, oh, we got to talk again.
This is Nikki with an egg. So, Nikki, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard-boiled egg for breakfast.
Yeah, that's very responsible of you. A lot of protein.
Well, I like to get the good food in, so then the rest of the day I can just let it all go downhill.
Now, you sent Eric to the store this week because he picked up some more ice cream.
No, I'm not having any.
But it's the weekend.
I know, but, let me finish my bite. You talk about something else. No,
I want to hear from you. I want you to talk while you have that egg in your mouth. Because this is what always happens to me. I'm appreciating the fact that it's now happened to you.
It happened to me?
Yeah.
No, I ate a lot of ice cream. We've been on the break at home, the stay at home for how many weeks now? Has it been 2.5?
I think it's about 2.5 years.
4, 5?
Or 5 years.
Like, how many weeks has it actually been?
Like
3?
2.5.
2.5, 3 weeks?
2.5 years.
Well, I had a lot of ice cream in the beginning, and we bought a lot of ice cream. I thought it would last the whole time. I didn't know how long this thing was going, but it should have been enough. But then I started having ice cream at like lunch. I can't do that. And I developed a habit of doing that because it was comforting. And it was just like, I have a little bite here, a little bite there. And so now I'm out of ice cream and I am not buying any more. But I have eggs, so I'm just making hard-boiled eggs. It's fine.
They're just like ice cream. They're white.
It's great.
Like a good vanilla.
It's great. It provides the same comfort and happiness when I have it with a meal or something. I just really miss that ice cream. That was such good ice cream. It's fine. We're good.
I want you to know, and I'm not just saying this. I thought about ordering a cake.
Did you? Just to have? What a good idea.
Just to have a cake.
A comfort cake.
What if, and that's what we put on the cake. So that way, like, we don't even act like
it's not even for a birthday.
Just put on there, happy comfort cake, and just pick it up and just
great idea.
Eat it. Maybe I'll make it a smaller one.
And for people who say you're not supposed to comfort with food, well, how many weeks have you been at this? Because that's what we're doing.
But no, watch this. I know how to make it better. Watch this. Well, I mean, you can still get one.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's got. Then you're like,
I'm eating the cake. We should be freezing it. If you cut it up into little pieces, you can freeze it like in baggies, and then you can take it out whenever you need a little piece of cake.
Oh, you need a little cake.
Should we? Should I get more ice cream? Is this all going away?
We should probably order a really big one then.
I think we should.
Eric, I want you to go to the store. See if there's a limit yet on ice cream. Buy as much as you can get.
Well, I'm worried now. I mean, eggs, I'm sure, will be here forever, but we need ice cream.
Or you could just, your neighbor, you know what? You made fun of your neighbor, and now you're going to be over there like, hey, do you still have those chickens?
No, but I don't think he has.
Do you still have them? Do they have any eggs?
I think they were still more pheasants. Like, I don't know if they were egg chickens.
You could eat a pheasant egg.
But the other day, we had this big windstorm, and so a lot of things were just around, and Eric took a picture of by his house was this bird feed bag, like to feed them. I still think they're in the basement, like they're alive in there.
They probably are.
But they're not supposed to have birds in your house like that.
You know, Nikki, how you were running, you were okay with that lady having a duck sanctuary?
Yeah.
He has a pheasant sanctuary.
Only it's a sanctuary.
And his people are being oppressed.
I don't know if that's the case, but okay, so back to the cake thing. That's not a bad idea, especially over the weekend.
I know.
You could have lunch cake, dinner cake.
In between cake.
Nighttime, and like right before you go to bed, just a tiny bit. Or like morning cake, just take the edge off the day.
Just to take the edge off.
I don't drink. So it's like, what do we have?
Just a little cake.
Just a little cake and ice cream.
Oh, you know what? Just kidding. Cake for us is code for running. So it's like a morning run, an afternoon run.
Not.
I don't drink, so I just do some running.
No, we should be, but we're not doing that. No, we're making some good choices today. All right.
Comfort burpees.
Nope, I got the hard-boiled egg. We got little
bottle of
water.
It's good.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
You don't need cake today or ice cream. We're good.
So order one though. You don't even know.
Do you have to? Is it the bakery open or?
That's the part I don't know.
Order.
That makes you even more nervous.
Do they take it out to the car?
Like you're not allowed. You can't even get cake anymore. They've shut down the bakery.
I don't hear you talk like that. Okay.
This is the moment when it all broke apart for the riot.
The Riot Radio U.
I know you guys are missing the NBA. I know you're just missing sports in general.
That is true.
And I totally get it. I do. I appreciate some of the ways that ESPN and various sports stars have been working to stay connected with their audience and their fans.
Was it Fox Sports who did the
NASCAR?
The NASCAR one.
Yep.
So they basically had NASCAR drivers doing an interactive NASCAR game.
They did.
And that was something that they aired, and they promised that they'd be doing more collabs between athletes and games to tie it together.
So we have that. Now, what about the NBA? Well, this weekend...
This one's on ESPN today.
Kevin Durant is heading up an NBA virtual tournament using NBA 2K on I don't know if they're playing PS4 or Xbox One or what, but that's how they're going to be playing. And so they've looped in a bunch of other NBA stars, and they are all going to be playing this game online, and you're going to be able to watch them play.
I think it's a good idea. They're not only saying it's good for us to be able to have something to watch, but they said it's actually really good for the players too.
Oh, sure.
I mean, you have nothing at this point to where you can't, and you don't have practices, you don't have all that stuff. So it's nice to be able to still do something basketball related.
Well, keep in mind, I sometimes we think that like money solves everything. So when we see a celebrity that's having a hard time, it's very easy for us to be like, yeah, it must be tough locked in your mansion all week.
Like they still have money, they're fine.
Which one of the pools do I want to swim in? And undeniably, they have more options than you do, but they're just people. Just like you and me. Money does not solve the humanity problem. So they still have issues. So their day is just as disrupted as yours. Their day just looks a lot different than yours.
But it's still disrupted, like you were mentioning. So there will be a $100,000 winning thing, prize thing, that will donate to a charity connected to the coronavirus relief efforts.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So it gives them something to play for. It's like Celebrity Jeopardy, but NBA 2K with real NBA stars.
So that's with ESPN, and it starts today through this weekend.
Okay, so it does run all weekend.
I think so. I'm not sure. It starts today. It airs on ESPN, so we'll see how long it goes.
Fantastic.
But you'll see more video game player tie-ins.
I saw that Twitch, which is a place to go to watch games, their viewership overall is up 26%.
Not surprised.
Dude.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, Nikki, yesterday, I mentioned on the show that I had ordered a camera. And I was coming from New Jersey or New York or something, and I'm helping some people with some weekend stuff. And
they needed it.
He needed it, so I ordered it.
But you could have bought it more locally, but it would have been like $500.
It was like $500
you said
more. And so I ordered this online, and I'm like, this will be great, whatever. So yesterday, it was supposed to arrive yesterday. And I know everybody's having some shipping problems, whatever. Because coronavirus. I get it. I totally get it. And so I called yesterday and was on hold for half an hour.
With the company you ordered it through?
Yeah. And then I was like, okay. I called customer service. They're never going to answer. So I called the sales department. It's funny how they answer a lot faster.
That's with every company.
And so...
But then they have to transfer you, don't they?
Well, I just called and I was like, hey, I'm just calling to see if you guys are still open. And the guy was like, he's from New Jersey, so I can't do New Jersey, but he was the most New Jersey accent you can imagine.
So let's put that in our mind as he answers.
And it was just like, why would you even ask that? And I was like, hey, because I bought something from you like 5 days ago, and it was supposed to arrive today, and I haven't even gotten confirmation that anything.
Sure, and then when you go to call, no one answers on the other side of things. So is anybody in?
And so he was like, oh, yeah, we're open. No, you'll get it. It's fine. So then I checked my credit card. It dropped off the credit card. So like, you know how they do a pre-authorization or whatever? Gone.
But is the charge there then?
No. It's just gone. Like it never happened. So then I call them back. Then they won't answer the phone. Then I call back one more time, and I get transferred to obviously an answering service. And the guy is like, well, just go to the website and email support. And I was like, well, the website says to call support. He was like,
someone tell me what to do.
He was like, yeah, just go back and do that. All right. Have a nice day, sir. Like, click.
So you were having fun?
So you know what? I was just like, forget it.
So there's no camera?
No, I ordered it from somebody else.
Okay.
Because
you'll get it, though.
Yes.
Even though it's been removed from your credit card, somehow it'll show up.
Very possible.
You'll have to return one.
Yeah, and that was my thought. I was like, well, I'll return it. But not that I'll ever get the money back.
Good luck to you.
So
these are difficult times. It's fine.
It was the first time I've ever bought something through Google Shopping. Have you ever done that? Where it's like shopping.google.com. So Google doesn't run a store, but they run a storefront where they let other companies sell through there, but Google backs up the purchase. And I thought, well, you know what, if Google's going to back it up, I'm saving a lot of money. It's probably worth it, whatever. That's a non-wartime thought. That's a pre-coronavirus school of thinking. I should have gone to the company that's like, we're going to make you pay through the nose, but we'll actually send it to you. That's the one that I should have gone with, right?
So the Google thing will at least make sure that the return works if they do ever end up sending it, but you can't get it.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll see. Well, Google has to, they say they'll guarantee that I'll get my money back.
Good.
But as of right now, they haven't even taken my money.
Well, I mean,
they don't even, that company is just like, we don't even know what day it is.
See, you called and problem solved, I guess. You just had to buy it somewhere else.
I did everything I could, Nikki.
Oh, that's frustrating.
It was frustrating and funny because it was just that idea of when the guy was like, hey, the website says to call you. We'll go to the website. And I thought, well, that's it.
They're trying to loop you into a circle.
I believe that officially we're screwed.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
Have you ever had somebody that you love die? Have you ever experienced a bitter disappointment? I mean, not like the pony was brown instead of off brown.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, like
real
bitter,
stuff.
real, all the way down disappointment. And then as you're sitting in your disappointment, which is not wrong, by the way, here comes somebody with words of, you ready for it? Comfort. And they're here to comfort you. And they're like, you know what? It's okay. Blah, 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 blah. And they say that thing and you're like, that didn't make me feel better. But when I punch you in the mouth, I'm going to feel just a little better.
Well, sometimes people have a thing that they think would comfort you and that really misses the mark.
And okay, here's one thing we have to do is like sometimes you have to try your best to look past the terrible, hollow words that they're offering to the heart behind it, that sure. they love you and they're trying to help you, and try to sometimes just say, you know what, like that was a really dumb thing you don't have to say this to them, but on the inside you're thinking that was a dumb thing you said, but I appreciate that you care, thank you. And just kind of letting it go at that. So I feel like I am, the last 48 hours, I've been surrounded by really dumb. I just keep hearing dumb
comments
things.
from people.
Yeah, people. And I know they're trying. I mean, even I'm saying to people, hey, we can make it. We'll get through this. But I believe those to be true statements. And if those feel empty-headed to you, I'm sorry. It's not my intention. But here's something that I want you to know. If you're disappointed, if you're upset, as you are grieving what's going on. And some people, like, for some of us, it's been just like, well, I have to stay home. For some people, it's way more intense than that, okay? And you know what? Here's the thing. It's okay for both of us in whatever circumstances to be disappointed. It's okay for us to be upset. It's okay for you to be nervous and angry. Like, it's okay. I mean, we have to be careful when we get in those places what we do next, because we can actually end up doing things to make our situations even worse. So we do have to be careful. I'm not saying we don't, but I don't want to offer you something empty. The one thing that I do want to offer you that has been there for me again and again and again and again is the relationship that I have with Jesus. He has been with me through some of the, I could use adjectives that are not legal for broadcast. All right.
How about we just say tough?
Tough.
Tough is a word.
There's a synonym for you. He has been there for me through those things. And it hasn't always been that he has come along and like a genie snapped his fingers and my circumstances just magically became roses. But he has gotten me through them. And I am still here. And he will continue to be with me no matter what happens. So listen, if you need a friend that you can sit with, if you need a friend that you can talk to, and I'm not saying God doesn't get involved. Of course he does. He loves you and he wants to help you in the middle of all of this. I know I can offer you that. So if that's what you would like to have, just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. Here's what's going on with me right now. And you can talk to God. You don't have to hold anything back. And I mean nothing back. You can use all the words you want to use in any way you want to use them. God's heard worse and he can take it. And I want you to have a friend that's going to be there with you, that is not going to offer just whatever. Real comfort is what God can offer you today.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Boy, in the middle of all of this stuff going on, we've learned some new phrases. You know, social distancing, which we've traded out for physical distancing. I don't know what other words we've learned, but I got a new phrase for you that I just feel like it just appeared yesterday out of nowhere.
What is it?
And maybe you'd heard it before then, but it was new to me yesterday. No contact delivery.
Oh, yeah, no, because you're not ordering food online. You're not DoorDashing and stuff.
I'm not.
So, yeah, that became real popular the last, I would say, maybe week or two. Because at first, I DoorDash or Uber Eats every so often. When the night requires
which is just to say, no more than 2 times a day.
When you used to eat out and now it's the eating out of the eating in.
Yes.
So at first, when all the stay-at-home stuff started, it was an option that they were providing where you could choose the like leaving it on your porch saying the no contact delivery.
Yeah.
And then that was like an option. Now it's not really an option. Now a lot of them are just requiring no contact. They leave it there. Pizza places are doing that. Your delivery stuff from Amazon and those were always kind of no contact ones, but that seems to be a trend based off of that.
It's new to me. I saw it for the first time yesterday. It was a Domino's pizza commercial. They're like, with our new app, whatever, you can have contactless delivery, order online. And I was like, it worked because I was like, yeah, I'll take that.
So basically,
that
where
sounds good.
They used to go ring the bell, you would come to the door, you would sign something, or you'd say hello and grab the food. You no longer do that. They just leave it on the porch.
Right. Well,
that's it.
I saw it from Domino's. Then a while later, I saw it from Papa John's. And I just got an email from a local pizza place saying, hey, we're doing no contact delivery.
That's coming from all the food delivery stuff, which I think is safer anyways. And even if this wasn't a thing, like from the virus, I prefer less contact as it is, so I'm fine with it.
Oh, my gosh. Nikki's like, I don't want to have to keep looking the same Uber Eats driver in the eyes.
Oh, no, I never had the same driver, but, it's kind of awkward sometimes. You're like, hey, with pizza people.
Oh, no. When the pizza person comes, I just fling open the door and say, blessed are you among men and women.
Come on in.
You are wonderful.
Not because you don't have dogs. I have two
true.
younger dogs and one older one who doesn't know any better. And when you ring the doorbell to my house, I hate it because of what happens.
Well,
they can't not come to the door and they get excited and bark. So I love the no contact thing.
Well,
don't even ring the bell.
Please go away.
Just throw it at my door. Don't let them see you.
We don't care.
So it's coming from food delivery stuff.
No contact delivery. Wow. You know what? We're pushing this I don't want to see people thing even farther. But you know what? Doesn't pizza sound good?
It does. Maybe this weekend. What do we think, guys? Good. Maybe today?
Why don't you just go and get it?
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Is it true nudism if you got to carry a towel around?